This is the second part of my series on the American economy. Anybody following the news knows that the Bush tax cuts were extended for 2 years. But the important part of this story is that the Bush tax cuts were extended for the wealthiest Americans. That's Americans making over $250,000 a year. President Obama was doing everything he possibly could to prevent those tax cuts from being extended. The wealthiest Americans do not need, and a lot of them actually don't even want to have those tax cuts extended. But of course, the Republicans did, and they did hold the president over a barrel. In fact, in his words, they held them. They held him, the other Democrats in the country, hostage by saying that they would not approve a 13-month extension of the unemployment insurance for millions of Americans unless they approve the extension, the 2-year extension of the tax cuts for all Americans, not just the middle-class Americans, but the wealthiest Americans too. What's the real problem here? The real problem is that this decision to extend these tax cuts will increase the deficit by $1 trillion. The fraud, I believe it's even a fraud, is to say that somehow by giving the wealthiest Americans this huge tax break, that they're going to now invest in small businesses, invest in the American economy. That is going to lower unemployment. It's going to grow the economy. It doesn't happen that way. It hasn't happened that way, and it won't happen that way this time. But we will be in 2012 at a point where the Democrats have to consider whether these tax breaks will be made permanent. Be very interesting to see what happens. I do not think President Obama could have done anything but what he did do. The Democrats who are accusing him of caving in, of somehow not standing up to the Republicans, they've got no valid position whatsoever. President Obama did the only thing he could do. He had to say that unemployment insurance for the millions of Americans that actually would need it right now, and certainly through this Christmas time. So there'll be more stories, more American economy segments, and I'm looking forward to your comments.